What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is UnrealEntGaming, and welcome back to another awesome edition of this week's Fan Mail of the Week, everybody. Welcome back to another awesome episode here today. We are in the second week of July. Time is just going by very, very fast. Before you know it, we're going to be entering the fall, and then winter, and then snow is going to be coming around. And I know many of you guys are thinking right now going back to school, work, and whatnot, so just take the time to enjoy your summer because literally it's not going to be long now until we're going to get to have snow, and then, the winter, and then, stuff like that's going to be rolling on in. Although on the contrary, we're going to be having some awesome games appear towards the end of the year, such as Halo 5 Guardians, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and whatnot. So just take the time to enjoy your summer. Go out, go to a cruise, hang out with your friends, go skinny dipping, go to the pool, go to the beach, have some barbecues, have a road trip here and there. Just enjoy yourselves because I'm going to try my best to enjoy mine. I've been hitting the beach a lot lately, so just trying to enjoy my time while I can. But anyways, everybody, before we begin, I just wanted to say I hope you guys take the time to check out my second channel. The link will be in the comment section below at UnrealEnt Network. On that channel, guys, you will find a whole bunch of awesome stuff and a whole bunch of awesome goodies that you guys won't get to find on here, such as vlogs, discussions, debates, Dragon Ball Z, Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, Destiny in the Forest, and just a whole bunch of awesome stuff. Dying Light, Spyro. So if you guys haven't taken the time to do so, you guys might want to go on ahead and do so. So anyways, and with Dragon Ball Super just making its showcase debut, it's just absolutely epic. Whoever isn't excited about Dragon Ball Super, especially it now finally being on Japanese television or whatnot, just waiting for the debut of the English dub, you guys are nuts if you're not really hyped about this. And for anybody out there who've seen it, I mean, literally, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with our first question of the week, and it is from Bell Grant. Hey there, Unreal. I just wanted to say I love your channel, and I love UnrealEnt Network. Thank you, man. The Forest is amazing, and I love hearing your discussions with your friends. You are a great wrestler as well. Here are my questions. Thank you so much. Question number 1. What would be your dream indie match to watch from Ring of Honor, New Japan, CZW, etc.? Name 2 matches. That's going to be a little difficult. Question number 2. What do you think who do you think will go on to win the Royal Rumble in 2016? Question 3. Do you think Daniel Bryan will fully retire this year due to his neck injury? Question 4. Thoughts on The Undertaker retiring next year? Question 5. Thoughts on The Undertaker's last match at next year's WrestleMania? Thanks, bro. I mean, I couldn't just sit here and speculate any further. Thank you, Bell. To answer your first question, my dream indie match to watch, either from Ring of Honor, New Japan, CZW, that's very hard because a lot of these so-called dream matches have already happened. But if I had to pick and watch an independent dream match, at least here for the States, because I don't think I've ever seen it before, but you know what, I'll just go on ahead and say it anyway. It's either going to be Nakamura versus Kenny Omega. I think that right there, I've never seen that match before. If somebody can link it to me, if it's happened before, I'll definitely watch it. But Nakamura versus Kenny Omega would definitely be a match that I would love to see. 2 of my favorites. And my second would probably be Tanahashi versus Ricochet. I think that match would be awesome. If it's happened, I've never seen it. Would I love it to happen? Absolutely. But then again, there are so many indie matches that I would love to see from both Ring of Honor, New Japan, Global Force Wrestling, CZW, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and stuff like that. Anybody out there who follows indie wrestling would tell you that there are a lot of great wrestlers in the indies right now that are just formulating and making an impact. Not too long ago, I myself wrestled Caleb Conley, and he's a veteran of his own. He's been in CZW, Ring of Honor, he's been in Evolve, he's been all over. So wrestling Caleb was actually very awesome in my opinion, because I've been looking at the guy and watching the guy for years. So that was actually very humbling in my aspect. So yeah, those would be the 2 matches that I would love to see: Tanahashi versus Ricochet and Nakamura versus Kenny Omega. Now, to answer your second question, who will go on and win next year's Royal Rumble? That's actually very hard to say. Why do I have the feeling that it might be either Dean Ambrose, who might win, or perhaps maybe one of the NXT guys that might be on the main roster. Perhaps maybe if Sami Zayn comes along and remains permanent on the roster, or perhaps maybe Kevin Owens. Even though it's not possible because they're quote-unquote young boys, and they haven't really done anything to prove themselves yet. Either way, for me personally, I think it's either going to be Dean Ambrose, or it might just happen to be it's very hard to speculate. Either Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, or perhaps maybe, if given the circumstance, Adrian Neville perhaps. Don't know too much because it's very early to tell. For all we know, Brock Lesnar might come out of nowhere, you know, and just enter himself in the Royal Rumble match and just win. We really don't know. It could literally be anybody. So for me to sit here and speculate a winner or who might go on to win is very hard. It would have been Daniel Bryan if he wasn't hurt. But that's going into the next question. But I mean, for the Royal Rumble 2016, I really hope that it isn't someone like Roman Reigns again, because that'll really suck like a lot. But I do believe it's going to be one of the current guys on the roster now. The guy that's been getting like the most you know, reaction from the fans, I guess you could say, per se. So either Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, or Adrian Neville. I mean, those are my choices for winning the Royal Rumble. Sadly enough, it's not going to be Bray Wyatt, although that would be pretty cool. But it's not going to be Bray Wyatt. It's not going to be Luke Harper. It's not going to be Bo Dallas. It's not going to be you know, Damian Sandow. It's not going to be The Miz. It's definitely not going to be Kane or Big Show. It's not going to be Triple H. You know, so that just remains to be seen. But those are my three guys. And to answer your third question, it would have been Daniel Bryan if he didn't get hurt. So in any essence, I do believe Daniel Bryan will fully retire from professional wrestling this year, even though he quote-unquote was stripped from the title and he relinquished it and whatnot, and he's going to go into, you know, his multiple surgeries and whatever. Daniel Bryan made the mistake of not healing his neck via surgery. He wanted to do it the old-fashioned, you know, spiritual way. And sorry to say, when you have a neck injury like that, you definitely need to get it fixed if you want to come back stronger and healthier than ever before. Do I think he's going to fully retire? Absolutely. And it's very hard to say, you know, and it's very hard to even think about, because he's a very good wrestler, you know. And for me personally, I think if he were to get the neck surgery and come back, I think he ought to just shave that damn beard and his hair, man. Go back to the regular, you know, Bryan Danielson look from Ring of Honor. Clean cut face, nice, you know, cut hair. You know, just don't make him look like a bearded dragon like that. That just doesn't make any sense. Even though his gimmick is the dragon, but needless to say, I think the beard kind of takes away from it. I mean, that's just my, you know, aspect of things. But due to his neck injury, I mean, it sucks. It really does, because he's being taken away from, you know, being on the grandest stage of them all. He's being taken away from multiple opportunities. If Daniel Bryan was 1,000% earlier this year, he would have been put in a match against Brock Lesnar. I mean, that's what I personally feel like. I feel as if he were to go the extra mile, he would have been in that main event, you know, spot at WrestleMania against Lesnar. But I think since his injury is already kicking in, I don't think we're gonna see that, because, you know, he's really banged up. So from my personal standpoint, I see him fully being done after this year, and just next year possibly moving on to something else. To answer your fourth question, Undertaker retiring. It's very sad. Undertaker is definitely one of my favorite wrestlers. God, it's fucking hot in this room. What the fuck? I forgot to turn on my AC again. But yeah, Undertaker retiring. I mean, I think it's prominent. I think it's imminent, and I think it's next year. I think Undertaker's going to retire next year, and his final match will be next year. And to answer your final question, yes, it will be his final match next year, I believe, is because it's going to take place in Dallas, Texas. And what better way to go into you know, retirement than facing Sting? Whether or not he faces Sting is up in air, but I think Undertaker's last match just might be with John Cena. I firmly believe that. There's something about me that says Undertaker will wrestle John Cena at next year's WrestleMania, and somewhere along the lines, he's either going to win or lose, whether it's win, lose, or draw, he's going to be done after next year. After next year, it's going to be The Undertaker versus John Cena, and then after that, The Undertaker is going to be completely finished. And it sucks to say that, because he is a favorite, you know, like, there are a lot of people that love The Undertaker. Mark Calloway is a great guy. His in-ring performance, however, over the years have diminished due to all the injuries, due to everything, you know, coming into play and whatnot. And you have to understand it from, you know, a certain point of view, because it does suck knowing that he will never be the same because of all the injuries and his age catching up. But, you know, there comes a day where everybody has to just step down. And I think Undertaker's final wrestling days are going to be next year. So, but anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions, Bell, and I hope you have a terrific and chilly day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Candy. Alex, you're beast, you. Thank you. Here are my questions. Question number 1, Full Power Golden Frieza versus Beerus. Question number 2, do you think Broly as a canon character would make sense? Question 3, thoughts on a level far beyond Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 1? Well, anyways, thank you for the questions, Candy. To answer your first question, for anybody out there who've seen Dragon Ball Z Revival of F, spoiler alert, for those of you out there who haven't seen it already, Golden Frieza notices Beerus as he's fighting Goku, and he becomes very petrified. He's scared. He's like, Beerus, like, what are you doing here? And then, you know, Beerus is like, well, what does it look like that I'm doing? I'm eating. Like, I'm here to watch the fight and eat. And Frieza becomes very scared of that. So I think that actually goes to show that once he spotted him, he just became so petrified. He's like, oh my god, that is the god of destruction. Oh my god, that is the legendary Beerus. So for me personally, I think that if Beerus encountered Frieza and battled him one-on-one, there is no way that Golden Frieza would ever stand the chance. There is absolutely no way he would be able to walk out of that alive. I personally feel as if Golden Frieza would get decimated by Beerus. I think out of all of those characters, you know, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Golden Frieza, and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, I do believe that Beerus ranks higher above any of them. Beerus is a character that I think would take all of them on and win. So for me personally, I think Golden Frieza would just lose badly. I mean, against Beerus, the god of destruction, a god who's yet to you know, utilize all of his powers, I think Beerus would smash Golden Frieza. I think Golden Frieza would probably, you know, use dirty tactics against him. But against the deity like Beerus, hell no. Like, Beerus would grab Frieza by his little neck and he would wring him dry. There is no way, there is absolutely no way Golden Frieza would win, unless, of course, somehow, some way, he does something dirty enough to catch Beerus off guard and pretty much lay him to waste, which I think is virtually impossible because Beerus would already know it's coming. Golden Frieza is a very, very dirty fighter. We get to see that in Revival of F, the way he fought Goku, the way he tried to fight Vegeta. But even if Golden Frieza was at full power, and if he was able to train his body to master that form, he would still get decimated. I mean, I dare someone to argue otherwise. Anybody that's going to compare Golden Frieza versus Beerus, somebody please debate me on that, because there is no way. If you feel like, you know, Frieza would win, debate me on that. How exactly would Frieza even win to begin with? There is no way possible. I firmly believe that Beerus would grab Golden Frieza, and that would be the end of him. Of course, you know, like I said, Frieza would have his ways. Frieza would, you know, do, you know, what he needs to do to try to get the job done, but in the end, I think Golden Frieza would just get demolished. Beerus has yet to show his power, by the way. To answer your second question, if Broly became a canon character, would that make sense? No. I don't think it would, because why would it? I love Broly to death. Broly is an awesome character. I really do love and, you know, cherish Broly as a character, but if he was canon, where exactly would he fit and how exactly would he fit? To me, it wouldn't make any sense, because let's say Broly does come back, he could easily be beaten by anyone on planet Earth. Piccolo, Gohan, Vegeta, Goku, Beerus, Whis, Frieza, anybody. So to tie him in would be very difficult, because his power level would be so drastically smaller compared to everybody else. He wouldn't really stand a chance. Like, no way possible, no way, no how. He would get completely decimated, and he would lose against, you know, these other beings very, very easily. So even if he was a canon character, to have like a Broly saga, I think in order to make him pose as a credible threat, they ought to allow him to become a Super Saiyan 3 or beyond, and allow him to fight someone other than Goku and Vegeta, or Beerus or Whis, because those characters would completely crush him. So maybe against Gohan and Piccolo, Jocko, you know, Gotenks and stuff like that, like only then would I be able to sit here and say, okay, Broly would be a fair opponent. But against Goku, Vegeta, and the gods, hell no, he would get decimated. Broly would yell out, "My power is rising," and then he'd just probably get slapped and he'd die. So, Broly as a canon character would not make any sense, because if he came back, where would he fit? And to answer your final question, thoughts on a level far beyond Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, I really, really, really hope that does not happen, because if it does, I just feel as if it's going to take away so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can anybody sit there and say, oh yeah, I agree with a brand new transformation beyond Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan? To me, it wouldn't make any sense. So for them to just go on ahead and do it anyway, I think it'll be really dumb, because now you have, you know, Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 being incorporated in a God form. It's like, what the fuck? It does not make any sense to me. So if by some chance they do incorporate a level higher than that, much higher than that, like perhaps maybe Omega Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever the case may be, I think for me it wouldn't make any freaking sense. I personally would resent it, although yes, it would sound and look pretty cool. I would be all against it, because all you're doing is taking the traditional Super Saiyan forms, and you're pretty much just putting on a gold, like a bright golden like blue form, and you're calling it a god. It just doesn't make any sense to me. There's nothing unique about it. There's nothing different about it. It's just Super Saiyan 1, 2, or 3 with, you know, blue like hair. If by some chance, right, if by some freaking chance there is a level beyond Super Saiyan God, they ought to keep it very, very unique. Like, if there is a level that hits its pinnacle, I think it should be a level that just stops right there. Once you hit that level, that is it. Your body is different, your mind is different, everything about you is virtually different due to that level. So for me personally, I really hope that there isn't a level higher beyond that. But if there is, it'll really suck, but it is what it is. We're going to have to deal with it. So, but anyways, Candy, thank you for the questions, and I hope you stay cool and have an awesome summer. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Brandon. Hey Alex, I love your channels, both Unreal Gaming and UnrealEnt Network, bro. Thank you so much. You help brighten my day due to your comedy and your awesome gameplays you bring, bro. I have a few questions, if you don't mind, for fan mail. Some are personal, and I'm saying it to the world. Question number 1, do you think Xenoverse 2 will be worth waiting for, considering that everything we've always wanted in the DBZ game has already happened in Xenoverse 1? Question 2, okay, so I'm having problems talking to this girl. I mean, I can get sex whenever I want, but I can't seem to get into a healthy relationship. I am a loner, so maybe the issue is me being all about myself. I really like this girl, and I don't know, or I don't want to lose her. So she also has a boyfriend too, by the way, but she admits that she likes me a lot. What do I do, man? Help. Question 3, what do you expect to see in WWE 2K16? Question 4, with Revival of F being online, what are your thoughts about the entire movie? Well, Brandon, thank you for the questions. Well, to answer your first question, we really didn't get everything we've always wanted in Xenoverse 1. We've never been allowed to create androids. We've never been allowed to create Majin Buu characters that were, you know, males that were skinny. We always had the option of, you know, making them fat. We never really had the option to customize our aura, to customize the color of our beams, to customize every single piece of clothing in terms of color and how we want it to be. We never really had the option to transform our other characters further, other than, you know, Super Saiyans. We never had Super Saiyan 3 unlocked for the Saiyans. We never had Super Saiyan God unlocked for the Saiyans. So there are several things that we haven't gotten in Xenoverse at all. So Xenoverse 2, if it decides to drop, I think would be one of the best Dragon Ball Z games ever, because only then would they be able to provide a platform where they can give you virtually every single thing you've always wanted in a Dragon Ball Z game in the Dragon Ball Z game itself. So, I mean, it kind of sucks that we have to wait such a long time, but I think the wait would definitely be worth it, considering the fact that we've waited all this time for Xenoverse, so why not be able to wait just a little longer for Xenoverse 2? The Dragon Ball Z game that came out for the 3DS, a lot of people were talking about, oh, you know, that game was amazing. And granted, it was. There are Dragon Ball Z games out there that are pretty much coming out that are getting, you know, virtually better and better. So for Xenoverse 2, I personally would love to see I would love to see more go about it, you know, more customizable options, a greater story depth, and I do believe by incorporating Dragon Ball Super's story, I think that'll be just as great as well, because now we have a different narrative of what the hell's going on within Dragon Ball Z. So if you aren't really technically pleased by that, I don't know what to say, but I just firmly believe that Dragon Ball Z, in terms of the story arcs for the games, are getting better. So for Xenoverse 2, I would love to see a much more dynamic online system. And in any case, I have made videos before talking about this, especially with what we want to see. So the online mark, I really hope that they have like almost limitless time, because I would love to be a part of an online battle that doesn't take, you know, less than 3 minutes to play. But either way, it works out, it's balanced, and I think with that, it just, you know, provides a lot. So who knows, maybe for the next game we get to have more to it, perhaps. I mean, I don't know. Now, to answer your second question, you like a girl, but she likes you back, and she has a boyfriend. And you said that you can get sex whenever you want, but you can't get into a relationship. Well, I think that's just karma biting you in the ass, and I do believe in karma. When you do something wrong to someone, it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. Now, I don't know if you acknowledge this or not, but if you do acknowledge it, then that just ultimately means that you're doing this on purpose. You are purposely having sex with, you know, a lot of people per se. I really don't know how many. But I think what you ought to do is just stop for a second and just think about what you're doing. What you're doing is wrong because you're changing the perceptions of so many of these girls, and perhaps maybe there are a bunch of these girls that genuinely like you and they want to be with you, but you want to just only have sex with them for your own greedy pleasure. That's very sad in a way, because it's like you're changing the perception of many women. And now you're saying that you like this girl and she likes you back, but she has a boyfriend. What does that mean about you? I mean, do you like her because you want to just use her for sex, or you genuinely like her? And from what I'm reading right now, it just clearly shows me that you really want to be with her. Now, she has a boyfriend, and every relationship is rocky. Every relationship is going to have its challenges and ups and downs. Do not interfere in that relationship, because you will only look like the bad guy if you do. So I would sit down and talk to her and let her know what the deal is, and you know, tell her, like, once that relationship is over between you two, I'm gonna be there for you, and I'm gonna be the first one online to, you know, win over your heart and just ultimately treat you the way you want to be treated. Now, I don't know this other person, I don't know the situation, but I mean, the relationship could be great, the relationship could not be great. That's always gonna vary. But what I think you ought to do is, like, just spend more time with her, hang out, get to talk to her about her day, interact, you know, like, just do things together, I would say, so you could be on the same page. But don't just be so clingy and just, you know, surround yourself around her 24 hours a day, because I've tried that before and it never really worked out, because you'll only seem desperate from there. You claim to be a loner, and I mean, that's fine. There's a lot of people that are loners out there, and I was once a loner too. But you also can't make things all about yourself. If you admit that you've done something wrong, good. Admit to that and just stick to it, and just whatever happens, happens. Own up to it and just, you know, gradually progress from there. Now, you say you don't want to lose her. I don't think you will if you're saying that she likes you. I really don't know how much time you've spent with her. I don't know what you guys have been doing. But whatever the case may be, I just think you ought to open up more and just let her know the deal full on. And if she doesn't know that you like her, let her know. She admits that she likes you. So what I think you ought to do is just step back and just watch the relationship proceed. Don't do anything to mess it up, but just be there for her when she needs it. Talk to her, and if that relationship just so happens to end later on down the road, then there you go. There's your opportunity. If you mess it up, well, it's going to be on you. If not, then, you know, you've won her over, and just try to maintain that and keep her, rather than just, you know, taking her actual heart and breaking it. So that's just my opinion, man. To answer your third question, what do I expect in WWE 2K16? I expect more character creation, damn it. What I ought to see is, like, more character depth, more character creation slots to be open. I want to be able to customize my character further. I want to be able to do more with my character. You know, in terms of customization, they had so many customizable options in 2K14, and then when 2K15 came out, they ruined it with that. Like, that game was so good that it was bad. And now with 2K16 coming out, I really hope that they encompass the entire NXT roster. I really hope that they encompass more of, you know, a character establishment program where you get to, you know, develop your character further with every step, with every move. And I really feel as if like they ought to bring back more of the classic, you know, game types that we've had before, such as the Inferno match, Buried Alive match, you know, I Quit match, stuff like that. Like, I think that'll be awesome. So, I mean, that's what I expect to see, along with DLCs for WCW, NXT, and stuff like that. Like, that'd be pretty cool. But again, I mean, we don't really know what step or direction they're going to go in. But I mean, that's just what I'm speculating right now. I believe they're gonna have ECW characters, WCW characters, NXT characters, WWE characters, and with that being said, I mean, I think that's all we really need in essence. And to answer your fourth and final question for anybody out there who hasn't seen my review, Revival of F was awesome. The final, I would say, hour of the movie is just great. The way the character establishment is with Frieza coming back and with Frieza fighting Goku, I really don't want to go too much into it, but the ending, however, for Vegeta, as I said before, the ending felt so rushed because Vegeta had his moment and he only did so much, you know? Like, I expected Vegeta to have a full-on fight with Frieza, and that didn't really happen. I mean, I was so disappointed because here I am, I'm sitting here and I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, so when is Vegeta going to fully beat the shit out of him? And he did, and Frieza tried to fight back, but he really couldn't. And I was just like, fuck, man, they could have done so much more before Frieza destroyed the planet. They could have had them brawl. They could have had Frieza try to get desperate and, you know, blast him with a whole bunch of attacks. And they never really done that. So I was just there like, okay, well, whatever the case may be, give or take, it was still worth it for what it was worth because we saw Vegeta beat Frieza back into his regular form. We saw Vegeta nearly kill Frieza before he got really desperate and tried to blow up the planet. So Vegeta did have his moment of glory, but it was only short-lived because there were other things that came in the way. And personally, for me, I felt like they could have done more with that, more to that, but they didn't really capitalize on that. So I don't know. I mean, Revival of F was good, but for me, I just think that the ending could have been just a little better. That's just my overall opinion, to be honest. The ending could have been executed so much better. And with that being said, not even Beerus and Whis were doing anything, and it sucked because I really wanted them to do something more. I really wanted Beerus to step in. I mean, it would have been awesome to see Golden Frieza versus Beerus, or even Golden Frieza combat Whis in a sense, because Whis would have dominated him anyway. It would have been so awesome to see. So, I don't know, just for me personally, I think the ending could have been better. The movie was great. Everything about the movie was great. But I just personally feel as if the ending could have been so much better. And it's only me to say, but I would love to see a Fusion debut in the future because I would still love to see how a Fusion would be able to combat the gods or perhaps maybe other entities, because we've yet to see how powerful, you know, a Fusion character might be in that form. But either way, for me personally, I just feel that that the ending could have been better. That's pretty much that. So anyways, Mr. Brandon, thank you for the questions, my friend, and I hope you have a fantastic day. And once again, everybody, thank you all for watching this episode of Fan Mail of the Week, everybody. I really hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys are Dragon Ball Z fans, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all latest news, information, and updates. If you guys enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit it up or like and a favorite. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Submit your questions, guys, in the comment section below if you guys have any. If you guys have video format fan mail, if you guys have any sort of, you know, question to ask me, go on ahead and drop it in the comment section below. I really hope you guys stay tuned for more. If you guys enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit it up or like and a favorite. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and just stay awesome, stay cool. Let me know what some of you guys are doing this summer, and let me know what some of your summer plans are going to be for the remainder of the year, because we only have a couple of months until, you know, pretty much summer is over and done with, and where do you go from there? So just let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching once again. Long live Planet Vegeta, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys in the next episode. Take it easy, everybody. Peace!